Hi everyone, today we're checking out this CPU air cooler by TRYX, their TRYX 620. She's absolutely massive but somehow manages to still look so clean. There's a 5-inch IPS 60Hz display slapped right on front of it, and unfortunately I haven't worked out how to play games on it yet. That would be so funny. But performance wise, TRYX claims the TRYX 620 isn't just about the screen, and I aim to put that to the test by comparing it against one of the best CPU coolers on the planet. Is the TRYX 620 all show and no go, or is this a must-have enthusiast item or cooler that sets new levels of CPU cooling performance and customization? Okay, starting off, prices are on screen. The TRYX is a little hard to compare as every CPU cooler on the market seems to have so many different features these days. Some have displays that aren't customizable, others don't even list the resolution of their LCD display, such as the 620BK. The best I could find was displays running at a 480x480 resolution. The TRYX of course has a much higher resolution at 1280x720, and it has a 60Hz refresh rate. Plus, there's no performance impact on my system with the built-in CPU just to run the LCD screen, which is a massive advantage. But the premium price means the CPU air cooler will still need to perform well for me to recommend it to my viewers. As for setting up, firstly there's compatibility here for AMD's AM4 and AM5 platforms and Intel's LGA 1851 and 1700, so 12th, 13th and 14th gen are supported. Installation was easy. I had to simply remove the screen that just pops off as it's held on by strong magnets. Then I removed the two rail mounted fans that just slide out, and once done I found the mounting plate and screws and connected them to my motherboard like this, and then I added a cross of thermal paste and then carefully lowered the unit so it matched up with the holes in the middle of both plates. Screwing it down evenly and I was done. It took no longer than 10 minutes. Pushing all the cables through the back, I simply had to connect up the USB connector to my motherboard and connect the fan cables to my hub, as it's much easier to monitor fan speeds using software rather than messing around in the BIOS. So we've already established this cooler is huge, but what clearance will you need to fit a monster like this in your case? Well, the front outer fan is adjustable by just under ½ an inch. That gave me plenty of clearance from a high profile RAM, although I wanted the fan to sit flush, so I ended up switching out my current RAM for a set of Trident Z. This cooler fits into the Flover F50 really well, but it does dwarf my GPU a little, even one this size. Overall the unit protrudes out a total of 17.6 centimeters or 6.92 inches. I will be comparing this beast to a Noctua NH-D15 to get baseline temperatures for a comparison. I need to remind myself while testing the TRYX is a much more closed off unit compared to this, so I'm not expecting it to win. A lot of people just want a sleek looking device that performs well. There's a good market for a product like this. Of course performance is king, so I'm still really hoping the cooler is top tier. If temps are way off the NH-D15, the fancy little screen isn't going to save it. If the TRYX is 1 or 2 degrees warmer, I will test the noise levels to report how much I have to ramp up the system fans to match the temps on both units. Here's a quick idle test of my whole system for a baseline and ambient noise levels. While testing the TRYX 620 at idle and under full load, I was very impressed with the overall noise levels, even without a fan offset. I hardly noticed any humming, buzzing or vibrations. Here's both coolers under full load with my system fans completely turned off. Baseline temps are great on both coolers. The TRYX was stable at 42.6 degrees and on the D15 43. But that doesn't mean much since they weren't under load. On Resident Evil, which admittedly isn't a very CPU intensive game, I will show some more games in a second, the CPU temps while using the TRYX averaged at 60 degrees Celsius while using max settings at 1440p. The D15 sat at 60 degrees also, so the TRYX is off to a great start, but what about a more CPU intensive game like Cyberpunk 2077? So while playing Cyberpunk 2077 after an hour of driving around and comparing both coolers while sat staring at an intense scene, temps on the Turris sat at 66.3 degrees Celsius and temps on the NH-D15 sat at 65.7 degrees. The two coolers are neck and neck with each other, and there was just over a half a degree difference between both coolers in the NH-D15's favour. Next, I decided to turn up the heat in Cinebench after several runs in multi and single core tests. The NH-D15 had a max temperature of 69.4 degrees Celsius compared to 68.6 max on the Turris. Average temps while testing, I didn't notice much difference between the two, constantly hovering around or under 67 degrees on both coolers. They were neck and neck again with each other. I'm very impressed with the performance on both, but let's not forget TRYX are asking for quite a bit more money, although it does come with a screen and is a lot more compact. Checking out the software, it's the same deal here as the Panorama and Stage AIOs. Customization is endless by adding video clips and GIFs. Unfortunately, there's not much stock stuff to play around with, so you have to go hunting. Overall, I found the software to work well, and once closed, there's zero impact on your system. Checking out the task manager, there's zero processes running, allowing your games to run smoothly. The last thing you want is your CPU cooler updating and pumping out GIFs, using up valuable resources when you're playing competitively. Right everyone, as a summary with those results, I can highly recommend the Turris to my viewers. It manages to keep up with one of the best coolers on the market while remaining more compact and modern. I love having a screen that I can add GIFs to, scenes and even my own recordings. Definitely a next level cooler in my opinion, but it comes with a hefty price tag. Plus it's a bit of a missed opportunity to not have any way to use the built-in LCD screen as a monitor. I mean, come on guys, it's got a 60Hz refresh rate. But overall I give the Turris a solid 9 out of 10. Rounding off, let me know in the comments section if you prefer AIO liquid cooling or CPU air coolers like this, and if you have time I can highly recommend these videos as are some of my best work. My name's Mark from Silence Tech, and this has been my review on the Turris 620 by TRYX. Goodbye.